Hello and welcome to Morris Park. I'm Clyde Morris. And guys, today I want to show you something I found at Walmart. And I'll tell you what, I really struck gold on this one because these are plants that are not easily found. And on the internet, these are very expensive plants. If I recognize some of these, like this Astrophytum mysterious Super Kabuto. Not an average plant you'd find at a big box store. Solco Rabusia rauschii. And another one you don't often find. And this one, Tephrocarpus geometricus. And you know, I've wanted this one for years and years. And kind of hard to find, pricey, hard to get a hold of. I've seen them on the internet and they go for pretty good prices. So first one I've ever had. And this one, a variegated Geometricus, the purple type with the red variegation, red and orange it looks like. That could change in time too. It had another bud on it, but of course shipping shock, it kind of dropped it real quick. This one I already have potted up. Actually, I just haven't put any top dressing on it, because it was kind of out of its pot. It'd been dropped or something, and it wasn't quite planted down the dirt, but it has good roots and everything, so I went ahead and bought it. And notice these little gymno variegates, they don't have real deep roots on most of them anyway. I only have one other one, and that's the one I have from Daz and Edith of Cactomania. That's a really cool sunset-looking one. So this is my second one. Very nice. And these are just something you don't expect to find when you're going out to get, you know, some milk, some cereal, and some other things of your grocery list, and all of a sudden you run into these. Deb actually pointed these out to me. And boy, I'm glad she did. These are rare plants and very hard to find. So I'm going to pot these guys up and get them into some new pots. Get them out of these little bitty ones. Got my soil ready and everything. And get them into some new digs here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some top dressing around this one. I need some top dressing. Yep, that's good and settled in. Do some top dressing on this one before I start repotting the other ones. This rock here, once it actually kind of gets washed down off a little bit, it actually turns kind of a reddish color. It's a little more attractive than it is now. It's basically some landscaping rock. Tap that down a little bit. Okay, there's that one. This is actually a little plastic pot, but it's actually a pretty nice one. I usually don't use a lot of plastic pots, but I really like the design on this one. It's pretty nice. So I went ahead and used it. Okay, now we'll go to potting the next plant. Now I think the next plant I'm going to do here is the Geometricus here, the Tephrocarpus geometricus. I say this is a very hard to find plant. Take it out of there. Costa Farms put some real neat packaging. Some of you that know Costa Farms here in the States, you know they put out a lot of different plants, cacti, succulents, and house plants and such, tropical foliage. And this year they really outdid themselves. They really came up with some new stuff. I don't know how they found to mass produce this stuff to sell it like it is. I have noticed when I've looked this up, and one of my viewers, Alan Peck, kind of keeps me updated on what's in his area. And the stands, even though they have the same packaging and everything, the plants actually vary. Up there, he didn't have any of the Geometricus up there. And actually had stuff that I did not see down here. One of them was, you see the variegated gymno in this picture? I mean, not gymno, astrophytum. They didn't have those where I looked at the Walmart I looked at. And you'll see a Susannae in the background there, a Euphorbia Susannae, and they did not have any of those either. So those were two they did not have. And I noticed up in his area, they had Eulichnia spiralis, which is something I've not seen personally in my lifetime. Just like this Geometricus here, I've not seen one of these in person ever. The first time I saw one was on the internet watching YouTube some years ago. And when I looked it up, the price was just so prohibitive, so I couldn't get it. But they had other astrophytums in their selections, myriostigmas of different varieties and such. And they had, as I say, the Eulichnia spiralis. They had, just a number of different ones I've got. Actually, the Myrtlecactus, booby cactus, they had that one, and we didn't have that down here. I did check at a couple other Walmarts and a couple other cities, and they did not have any of this. All this was pretty much at our store in St. Robert. Now, some of you from other countries and stuff that aren't familiar with Walmart, basically is a big box store. Walmart started out as a place you'd get clothes and electronics and things of that nature. Just, supplies, no food or groceries or anything like that. And nowadays, they sell everything from car tires, car and truck tires, to food, to plants in a gardening center, have a whole complete garden center and everything. So every once in a while, Walmart will get some pretty cool stuff. Now, they have gotten in some stuff in recent times from Altman plants, and Altman carries some good stuff too. The only thing about Altman plants that I can say on that is they go with the trend of putting fake flowers on them and gluing eyeballs on them and stuff like that, which I'm not really too cool with. I don't really care for that. But they did have some nice plants. My big Trichocereus I got here not long ago was an Altman plant. But when Costa Farms came up with these rarities, that really did it for me. That is really awesome stuff. So anyways, let's get to repotting this one. A little piece of screen in the bottom here. You want to put a little screen in there to keep all the soil from coming out. And I just cut these little pieces of screen from old window screen that I've saved up in the past. That I've had for a lot of years. I save these big sheets of screen when they're damaged, and then I use it for repotting. I think for my soil on this one, I'm going to make it a little bit more granular. More well-drained and such, because these tephra cactus tend to like a better draining soil than a lot of cactus. So I want to put some extra perlite in this one. Even though I've got a lot of drainage material in my soil, I'm going to do a little bit extra. A little out there. Add some extra perlite to it. There we go. Get a little bit more drainage there, a little more grit. And you can see this piece like broken pots and stuff. Now you use my old broken pots and smash them up and actually use them as drainage material. Okay, I'm going to get this pot filled. And there, like that. This plant has some pretty good roots on it. I'm going to kind of flake away some of the extra soil here. I'm going to kind of lift it up a little bit. Just loosen the roots up a little. Glad the roots are so nice. Sometimes you get into these plants and their roots are terrible on them. Okay, I'll get this potted up. Okay, I've got this filled. I just kind of wanted to not take up so much time on my phone here with filming. And so I just got this filled up here. Now all I've got to do is fill it up with a little top dressing, and I'll show you what that looks like when I'm done. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I really like these pots. Got that charcoal color. Makes a real neutral color. Really like that. And I'm going to get these other ones potted up, and then I'll show you what they look like. So this astrophytum here, it looks like it's been giving it a bit of water here because it's kind of green around the bottom edge. It looks like a little algae or something like that growing down there. But we'll get this repotted into here, and it'll be a lot better off. Okay, I've got it potted up. It just needs a little bit of top dressing on it, and it's ready to go. Yeah, definitely struck gold on these ones. You just don't find this stuff at big box stores like this. This is a highly unusual thing to find these types of cacti. There's a couple more they had there that was pretty good too, like the Stenosarius marginatus, the Mexican fence post crests, the actual crests of that. The other day I just didn't have quite the money to throw into all this and buy too many. These were like $9 a piece. They were like $8.99 a piece, which isn't bad considering what they sell for on the internet. And you just don't find these. So the Super Kabuto is potted and ready. Beautiful plant. Always wanted one of these. I do have one other Astrophytum mysterious that I got from Daz and Edith of Cactomania, of course, and it's a real pretty one. It's got some buds on it, and as well, this one has some buds on it, so who knows? I may do a future crossing project and get some more out of these. Okay, I think we're ready on this one. Maybe a little bit more. Okay, there we go. Astrophytum Asterius Super Kabuto. Nice plant. Okay, we're going for our last plant. And that's going to be the little Sulco Rebutia. Oops, dropped it a little bit there. Okay, I'm going to put that in there. And I'll fill this in with some soil. Okay, got my soil in and all. My little Sulco Rebutia. Now, I may have a little bit of plans here with this one. I may take one of those offsets and try to graft it. I got some stalks here that I'm waiting to do some grafting on. And sometimes it'll strengthen these little guys too, because these are very delicate. I have one that I saved from two little teeny tiny cuttings that were probably about the size of these little baby ones way back in there. And that kind of saved me on my first one, but it's a very hard plant to find. So when I saw this one, I just basically had to get it because I wasn't sure about the two little ones that I have, which have been growing okay, but they suffered a little bit of spider mite this spring. And so I had to kind of cut that down and dust them a little bit with some 7 dust and try to keep that off. And hopefully I don't lose them, but if I got them and I've got this one, that's great. This is a beautiful plant, and I'm glad to have it. Very rare plant, and it was neat that Costa Farms had this in their selection. So now it comes the top dressing. I'm trying to braid these offsets too much. Shake that down. A little tap on the concrete floor here. And I think we're just about done. So anyway, if you live here in the United States, you have a Walmart near you, you might want to check it out. These are great plants, hard to find plants, and for $9, you can't beat the price. And there they are, folks, my golden haul from Walmart. Astrophytum mysterious Super Kabuto. Sulco Rebutia rauschii, Viola C. There's a green version of this too, by the way. Not for sale that I saw, but there is a green version of this. Gymnoclysium, Mahanovichii variegata. And of course, Tephrocarpus geometricans. Awesome plants. Head off to your local Walmart, see if you can find these beauties. This is Clyde Morris from Morris Park. I was glad you're able to join me today and see my golden haul from Walmart. Y'all have a good day and take care.